The 10th Summit of the Heads of State and Government of the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States, or ACPS, which took place in Luanda, that's the capital of Angola, has remained fresh in the minds of its participants, especially Nigeria, as she was named co-chair and diaspora champion, led by Honorable Abike Dabiri Arewa. We bring you details of this as the diaspora issues are on the front burner. And a brand new year is here, 2023. What is in store for Nigerians in the diaspora and those at home as the country goes to the polls? We have got to listen to what some Nigerians in the diaspora are saying. Please stay for more details. And as usual, on our ANPA Health segment, we've got some interesting health tips. Stick around, it promises to be helpful. And of course, do not forget our diaspora of the moment. She won big in Italy. Please stay with your favorite program, The Diaspora, and I'm your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Arewa, Chairman CEO of NIDCOM, received a warm welcome in Angola at the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States Forum, which is made up of over 70 countries. Enjoy.
The issue of the diaspora and give it a political voice that it truly deserves. So I hope that the AU will sit after you, I hope. And do what you are doing, because it's important to make it a political and institutional arrangement part of every forum that we have every year. And then finally, engaging the historic African diaspora is very important. No matter where you are, as long as you are a black person, you are a diaspora. So if the world continues to look down on us as black people or whatever we are, then they continue to look down on every human being, because as long as you're a black person everywhere in the world, an African. So we must build our continent and ensure that we make it truly where it should become. So as we look forward to this forum, thank you for inviting us. Thank you for having the first diaspora forum, and I believe that what you're doing today will change the world and it will be a revolution. Thank you very much. Well, Angola had the Organization of African, Caribbean, Pacific States, had the heads of governments meeting, the 10th heads of government meeting, but this year, they decided to make the diaspora a very important component of their meeting. And so they had a side event on the diaspora. And before that meeting, they visited us and designated me the diaspora champion. So it was very important for us to be there. So Nigeria was represented, and we were co-chair of the diaspora event. And guess what? They also want to have the first Diaspora Center of Excellence to be built in Nigeria. Of course, any country can build, but they are recommending Nigeria to host the first Diaspora Center of Excellence, because the diaspora issues there's a lot of research, a lot of work, a lot of policy issues. So we came up with that, and it's left to us now to follow up and ensure that we get all that. So it's glad to be called a champion, a diaspora champion. And so now look at, America now also having this Diaspora Advisory Council. Issue of diaspora is, we can't joke with them. We can't joke. And for us here, I know one thing that worries everybody is diaspora voting, but it's going to happen. It may take a while, but it's going to happen. We have to keep at it, be consistent with it, talk about it, put pressure on the parliament to ensure that it is the right of the Nigerian diaspora to vote. We just have to make it happen sometime soon.
Many thanks, Mama Diaspora. Now, year 2023 is a significant year for Nigerians both at home and in the diaspora. Let's take a listen to prayers and messages as Nigeria navigates the murky waters of politics and electioneering.
Welcome to the Diaspora, your favorite show on NTA. We have Mr. Victor Ugo, who is going to give us his own message for the new year 2023. As a diasporan, what are his prospects for the new year?
Wherever you are as a Nigerian, I want to wish you a happy new year, and we know the year will be wonderful for both of us.
Yes. So what are you also telling them in terms of investment?
Well, ever since my days in NIDO, the message has always been to attract investors into the country. And if we are attracting investors, those of us who have the capacity to invest, we also need to invest back home. But there are issues. Places like Abuja, I can tell you the power situation has improved a lot. Security situation has improved in places like Abuja and Lagos. Maybe some other areas like Kaduna and others, but we have to start somewhere. But at the same time, there's also the part that governments need to, a role that government needs to play. And that is on the diaspora participation in the electoral process. We are happy the Diaspora Commission is there, and the person heading it is one of us. Even though she's here, but we can call her one of us because she's in all our AGM. When we have problems, she'll come there to settle our issues. So there's no better person to speak for the diasporans than her. But how about the voting rights? Yes.
Election is coming up in just a few months or less than 2 months.
Yes.
Yes. We have presidential elections, we have senatorial elections, all manners of elections.
Yes.
So as a diasporan, what do you think we should do?
What I think we need to do, both the Diaspora Commission, Foreign Affairs, the Senate, the House of Rep should ensure that Nigerians vote in 2027 election. When I mean Nigerians vote, at least the presidential election, going to House of Assembly, House of Rep, Senate, governorship, that could be unwieldy for our INEC.
Okay.
But the process can be simplified by having them to vote in the presidential election. When votes come in and say diaspora vote, it comes under one basket, diaspora vote. It goes to this candidate or that candidate or presidential. We can start from there. You don't need to start looking for the constituencies where they come from. There are various constituencies in diaspora constituency. It is either for APC or PDP, and you count the votes. And you can be sure that these are real votes, not manufactured votes. Because you know all those instruments of rigging, it's not going to work abroad.
As a Nigerian, even if you are in the diaspora, what advice do you have for Nigerians as we march towards the election?
From what I have been seeing, I think President Buhari has allowed them to do their job the way they ought to do. And I can see the INEC chairman trying to be as professional as possible. We need to keep it up. This is our country. It belongs to all of us. Let's shun tribal sentiments. It doesn't matter where you come from.
Thank you very much. We're nice speaking with you.
On behalf of all the people, all the lovely members of the Nido China community, I wish all Nigerians a happy New Year 2023. We wish in this new year, Nigeria will develop to a better nation, devoid to all-round insecurity challenges, ethnic and religious division, to a nation filled with renewed hope of greatness. We also wish that the upcoming general elections will unite all Nigerians to a greater purpose of developing a better nation, better people, and greater Nigeria. Therefore, once more, we wish all Nigerians a prosperous, peaceful, and fulfilled New Year 2023. Thank you.
My message to fellow Nigerians in the new year is to wish all Nigerians a happy new year, a prosperous 2023, and as Nigerians are going to the polls to elect the next president, I call on all Nigerians to be peaceful, be optimistic, cautiously optimistic that the election is going to be the freest and the fairest in the history of Nigeria, according to the assurances and promises of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari. Fortunately, we had a great election in 2015, which till date was adjudged to be the freest and fairest after the 1993 elections, where an incumbent lost to President Muhammadu Buhari, and magnanimously, President Buhari had assured Nigerians that there's going to be electronic transfer of results immediately the elections are over on the day of elections, which is a good news, which is sharing enough. So my appeal to Nigerians in the new year is to conduct themselves in orderly manners and please obtain their PVCs and go out and vote massively for candidates of their choices.
As we welcome the new year, I'd like to wish everyone a very wonderful 2023. This year is very pivotal in the life of our country as we're going through an election. Now, this election is very important because there's so much at stake. From security to economic growth, jobs for our young people, good education, infrastructure, and many other things that we wish for as a country and as a people. And it has been said that everything rises and falls on leadership. Therefore, this period, this era, this year presents an opportunity for Nigerians to exercise their right. Voting is a right, it's not a privilege. So this is not a time for political apathy. It's a time for everyone to rise up and raise up their hands so that they will be counted. And those of us in the diaspora, unfortunately, cannot vote in this election. We're hoping that in the future that will change so that we can exercise our right to choose a leader for our country. So we're relying on those of you at home to make the right decision, to choose the right leader, to alleviate the suffering that so many people are going through in our country. I know the last few years have been really difficult, not just for Nigeria, but for the whole world with the pandemic and so many lives, lost to COVID-19 and economic recovery, actually slowly picking up in many parts of the world. Now, I just hope that as we have been resilient through these hard times, that we as Nigerians who are known to be smart people will wake up and do the right thing to move our country forward so that future generations of Nigerians will be proud that we actually charted a good cause for them. As we turn this new page in the life of our country, my hope is that when we look back, we will be proud of the country that we together have actually created and built. Once again, I wish everyone a wonderful 2023.
I'm excited to inform you that God is about to usher us individually and usher our nation into a brand new season. Yes, a new season is coming to our great nation, Nigeria. But beloved, this season will require our participation and involvement, for it takes a whole community, it takes all of us, it takes a whole village, so to speak, to build or a new nation or to rebuild our nation, Nigeria. Many of us are very much aware of some of the nations that we celebrate today, like China, like Japan, and the rest of them that used to be deep back down in the park, but took the blue string by themselves and rise up, stepping up to the plate to adequately compete with all the great nations within the global marketplace. We Nigerians can do that. In fact, we can do better. We can do better if we decide to step up to the plate, if we decide to get engaged and work together to make something happen for our great nation. And there presents for us the opportunity in this new year that we're stepping in. There presents for us the opportunity to engage in our civic duties and to harness our resources, human and otherwise, to bring the change that is necessary. Let's work together in unity. Let's harness the resources that God has blessed us, and let's move Nigeria to a brand new level, a whole new level, a level that can competently stand within other nations to adequately compete in the global marketplace. We can do it, my beautiful people. We can do it, fellow Nigerians. Let's rise up and do it.
Fellow Nigerians, I want to wish everyone a happy new year 2023. I want to wish people both in Nigeria and the diaspora all the best and success in this new year. A year of restoration, a year of peace, a year of prosperity, a year that will bring more success to us in all what we do. We are very, of course, conversant that this year, being a year of election in Nigeria, where a new administration is to be setting after the 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari. We thank God that we are witnessing this moment, that we will be able to also participate in bringing in a new administration to take up the affairs of the country to the new level of development. Everybody is also being appealed to also see this year as a year of unity, irrespective of political affiliations, that we will see each other as brothers and sisters who are offering themselves for service. So I want to say a very happy election year to everybody, because whatever it is, the choice of the people will be the ultimate choice that we take the affairs of the country to the new level.
Happy New Year, my fellow Niger people. This is Louis wishing you Happy New Year from Nigerians in the diaspora, China.
Many thanks for your prayers and best wishes. Let's take a short break as Boya Linko leads.
Not so fast.
Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down. Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging,
Listen, Alinko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
Welcome back. And now on our health tips, the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, Doctor, is on hand.
So according to UNICEF, WHO, and multiple other breastfeeding organizations, there are so many benefits to breastfeeding. I actually like to call breast milk, liquid gold. It is that valuable. It is very important to try to initiate breastfeeding as early as 1 hour from birth for those who do breastfeed, and this can really help combat, childhood malnutrition. In the entire world, over 500,000 children are malnourished and do not receive enough food. Breast milk can help reduce that gap. Along with providing benefits to decrease the risk of malnutrition, breastfeeding also decreases the risk of gastrointestinal infections, diarrhea, eczema, respiratory illnesses, and in childhood leukemia. That has also been found to reduce that risk. There are also many benefits for the mother for breastfeeding. This can help mother get back to her pre-pregnancy weight. It also decreases her risk of ovarian cancer and breast cancer. Along with that, especially for the first 6 months, breastfeeding can really help in the aspect of helping space out births. This is not always foolproof, but breastfeeding for the first 6 months can at least help the mother minimize ovulation and can help decrease the risk of short pregnancy interval, which has its own risk and complications. When it comes to breastfeeding, it is encouraged to breastfeed the baby for up to 2 years. The reason why, as mentioned, is the nutritional aspect, where the baby can have more nutrition and access to healthy nutrition along with antibodies in the breast milk. Along with that, around 6 months, it is encouraged for the baby to, or recommended, for the baby to get complementary and nutritionally safe solid foods that can help along with breast milk. Last but not least, children who are breastfed have been found to have a decreased incidence of diabetes in their adult age, along with obesity. So breastfeeding is extremely valuable in so many different ways, especially in the medical sector. If mommy is able to breastfeed, her and the baby get so many benefits. It's something that I do encourage my patients to explore, right after, before the baby's born and after, to really help with those benefits we discussed.
Many thanks always, ANPA. And now let's bring in our diaspora of the moment, making Nigeria proud in cuisine diplomacy in Italy.
Our diaspora of the moment is Miss Tracy Ibiogbode. Tracy is a chef consultant, traveler, and host of culinary events. She has also written and published the cooking guidebook, Soul Kitchen. Tracy embraced her passion for cooking and graduated from Italian Culinary School after 15 years of experience as a waitress in Italy, which brought her to the limelight. She emerged winner of the 2022 MasterChef Italia. The international cooking show was held in December 2022 and witnessed the appearance of notable and world-class chefs who participated in the competition. Among the 20 contestants at the event, judges were fascinated by Tracy's cuisine, which was a tasty menu of perfectly blended Nigerian and Italian cooking, which earned her the prize. In the words of Tracy, "During my path at MasterChef, I have learned to open up to what is unknown and accept what surrounds me without fear or prejudice and make it a part of my cuisine in a positive way." The Nigerian Italian received the prize of €100 in gold tokens and the right to publish a book of recipes. Congratulations, Tracy. We celebrate you as our diaspora of the moment.
Once again, a happy new year. We hope to see you this same time next week for another exciting episode of your favorite program, The Diaspora. And I remain your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Bye for now.